Hello, one more video for the night, and this is an update from one of my previous videos about the U.S. Saudi Arabia nuke agreement called the 123 agreement. And it has been very controversial. Many people are concerned given Saudi Arabia's hostility towards Israel, although I think Saudi Arabia and Israel have a relationship. I've been reading this really interesting article about the Saudi Arabia U.S. nuke deal. I think there's something behind this deal that I think quietly Israel's hoping they'll get. Apparently there had been a civil nuclear agreement with the UAE in which it agreed to give up enrichment material for a nuclear agreement with the United States. But let me first say what this agreement is. It doesn't mean nuclear material being sold to that country at this point. What it is the legal guidelines that will allow U.S. companies to sell certain nuclear technologies to Saudi Arabia. It's basically saying to U.S. companies, you can, as long as you follow these guidelines. And, of course, many in Israel don't want it because of the enrichment possibility and them developing a nuclear weapon. But according to the article, which and of course there's many details that go into this agreement, one of them being attached is, of course, Saudi Arabia agreeing to the Abraham Accords, which is formally recognizing Israel part of the Middle East. That's a big part of this. The U.S. will give permission for nuclear technology, and return Saudi Arabia will go along with the Abraham Accords. And to be honest with you, I do think that a way to end the Palestinian Israeli conflict, some of it has to come from Riyadh, because Riyadh they consider themselves the brothers of all the Arab people, and that may be the way to end and finally resolve this issue that's been going on for well over 100 years, even before Israel became a country. And I hope this is one way. And of course, you have many people that are upset saying, can't let Saudi Arabia get a nuclear weapon. Well, Israel has a nuclear weapon. We all know it. They don't admit it, but they have nuclear weapons in the Middle East. So, is this a way possibly to begin the end of that horror known as the Palestinian-Israeli conflict, and to a formal agreement on to end this nightmare? It's possible. As I said, Saudi Arabia can lead the other Arab nations into a general agreement to end this nightmare once and for all. And people are saying, why does Saudi Arabia want nuclear energy when it's got the oil? Well, Saudi Arabia, from what I've been told, is trying to diversify its economy away from the oil into industrialization. And so you're going to need more energy. So one way is obviously nuclear. And right now, it could either go to the United States or the European consortium, particularly France, which is France has a high expertise on nuclear facility, which I'm sure this is why the United States is trying to get into the Saudi Arabian market, is because of the French technique on nuclear technology. So, right now, as this article has suggested, there is a hidden agenda behind the Saudi Arabia U.S. nuke deal, and that is to get Saudi Arabia to recognize Israel. And we'll see how it goes. Talk to you later. Bye.